Yo, it's your host, Aaron, aka Don, your co-host, Warlock and RedinFamy. Our guest today is the man himself, a growing icon in my eyes, MonsterDface, artist, commentator, analyst, content creator, Mr. MonsterDface. What's up, Monster? How you doing, bro?
Yo, what's good, guys? Man, the intro, the feels, the crowd roaring, that's just vibes right
hype,
there,
right?
all the way. Yeah, and because I lived that, right? And I miss that so much, but I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Let's just start off right there then, right? Like, how has, Corona quarantine affect you and how you process content and just work?
So it's changed my workflow a lot because and we can get into this a little later, but we all transformed ourselves into a remote setting, right? Whether it be production like this and find out more creative ways to produce stuff. But yeah, at first it was scary. It was scary. Someone who was making a lot of that bread and butter through going to live events. I had a calendar that was booked up. And then all of a sudden stuff is getting canceled. I'm like, oh snap. Is this the future? Like, what happened? Like, how? Like, what are we gonna do now? Right now, it's all YouTube, it's all Twitch. Like, luckily for me, I never gave that stuff up. I was always a content creator first, like an influencer first. Then I got into the world of live streaming on behalf of clients and doing live shows and stuff. So it was scary though. That first month was sketchy, real sketchy.
Yeah. See, yeah. Now you look like you're set. You have the 2 rigs, not stressing, the green screen in the background. I'm gonna be real honest though, Monster. I've been watching you for a while, bro. Like, before I even got with 1:37 p.m., I was watching your fucking I'm trying not to cuss so much. Your Fortnite, your Fortnite videos on like your tutorials and stuff like that, 101s. Right. I remember cleaning the kitchen and watching you. And so like now to have this opportunity just to chat again, I know we chatted earlier this year, and just to have you now, it's like, dreams come true a little bit.
No, I appreciate that. And my history, like in gaming and stuff, goes well and beyond Fortnite, right? This is maybe my 4th title I've been full time with, finding success as a content creator and stuff like that. And it has been a crazy journey. But if you've been there since the start, you could just see from my earliest videos, like my personality, the way I record, the way I interact with the camera. I've grown so much, just like public speaking skills in general, from then till now, and that was only 2 years ago.
100%. Time goes by fast.
That helps with it. That helps with public speaking. I remember when I was first in front of a camera and it was just that awkward. But the more and more like you stream, the more and more you do content, you get kind of familiarized with speaking to an audience, even if you can't physically see them. So as far as like transitioning and even entering the space of content creation, like during this time, what has been like a monumental moment?
So COVID in a lot of ways obviously hurt businesses, but it amplified mine because I guess there was a big silver lining. In November 2019, I launched my own production business because I've always been a type to boss up. So I was in a position once again where I'm looking at these events, all these shows I'm doing. I'm like, okay, what happens when XYZ doesn't need me? How do I put myself in a position to have the stage to put the chess pieces in order and bring in talent? So I launched my own production business with the practice server because I also run the largest competitive ecosystem in Fortnite. So looking at this opportunity of like, all right, I have thousands, hundreds of thousands of players at my hand. And these guys that do shows, they're just building content off of what basically I kind of run right now. So why don't I build content? And then hire people in. If they could handle the $20,000, $30,000 budgets, I can too. So I launched my own production business and I got into that. So when COVID hit and everything started getting wiped out, I started going hard because I'm like, yo, listen, they don't even know what they're doing over there. Like, I'm ahead of the curve. I launched this 3, 4, 5 months ago. My system's in place. Let me show you what's up. Let me do your show. And I started running productions on behalf of Fortnite organizers, Valorant tourneys, right? And that's where I really started going crazy. And things have ramped up, right? As I've stepped into more and more relationships with different kind of entities and people, my resume starts to grow. Now my schedule's getting crazier and crazier. So I'm not only on air talent, I'm also sometimes the man who puts talent on air. But that all became, like you said, that's one of my biggest things of late, because I'm just trying to throw this blanket over the gaming space because I have the ability to do so. And I feel like I have the know-how.
What was that moment like when you identified that Epic and Fortnite weren't necessarily taking advantage of that desire from the community for a truly competitive, organized environment. And then you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. What was that moment like when you realized that you could do that and that you were going to pull it off?
So I want to backtrack a little bit on like your statement there. It's not that Epic doesn't necessarily believe that they don't want to run the best competitive events. It's the way that they're doing it is something that isn't traditional or orthodox, the way people perceived esports up until this point. I love their approach. They don't put the money, they don't feed the rich, right? They allow the tournament space to be open so that people like myself can step up and then take advantage. So it's the hardworking individuals, it's the grinders, the pros that don't have an organization that step up, win a tournament, get signed, right? So there's no other esports league like that out there. And for that, I genuinely do love their approach. Yeah, there's a lot of clashes between how they support the ecosystem, then further, right, organizations and monetization and how they can survive, right? That's a different discussion, but I just wanted to kind of start there, at least on my beliefs. But where it came from, how did I begin this all of a sudden feel like I could do this? I've always just been the kind of person that I do not like necessarily think as much, right? I don't sit there and say, all right, next week, I swear next week, I'm going to have that $100 next week and that person's going to be free. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that's like, yo, man, I need a video edited. YouTube, how to edit a video, bam. And I'm going to put those 6 hours in real quick to acquire a skill that can no longer be taken from me so that I can do everything. I edit all my own videos. I do all of my own production and just everything top to bottom. I'm literally a 360 service. And if I don't know how to do something, I just go ahead and do the homework to do it because it only takes a couple hours to become an amateur in something.
100%. And I get that basically you're just more valuable. Like, okay, they don't want you for this. Okay, but you do several other things. What do you want? I can do it. And I feel like that's basically what you said. I can do it all. Then also just to go back, the demographic, and I want your input on this because I've seen you made a video on Twitter about it. The feed the rich type thing. Even though the message of the video wasn't that, it was just basically about everybody. Like, why are people who are getting it mad at people who, like, why are they mad? I don't want to.
So what you're referencing, Don, what you're referencing the post where I deliberately swam against the current. I went up the river on this one against the community in the sense that a lot of the general competitive community believe that prize pool should only be within the PC track. And this flared up a debate because people don't believe that console players deserve a chance or an opportunity to win some money. And I was completely against that. And it was for a lot of different reasons. One, because of my upbringing. I grew up for a long time. I only had a console, right? So imagine if I was still in that position.
Come from.
Right.
Like,
so
consoles, we didn't have money to get PC rigs where we come from.
And the way I got mine, I used my financial aid check and I invested in a little gaming laptop. You know what I mean? That was the start for me, right? That was again supported through the government because I didn't really have another way or means to acquire a $1,500 PC at the time. But all that aside, that's the debate you're talking about. That's what really flared people up because I was standing up for the whole ideology that, hey, no, absolutely, they deserve something, right? Like, why don't they? And that's kind of how I felt. But people just felt, I don't know, they kind of looked at it with this greed approach, like they need everything. And I said, like, they think that it's because Epic is taking the prize pool and watering it down, so they're getting less on the PC track. But I think ultimately it doesn't matter. Epic was going to regress. They were going to come backwards, take steps backwards because they only created the $30 million tournaments because they were the biggest thing in the world. They wanted to capture attention for the years to come. But that's not sustainable. Think about any business. That's not sustainable. The entire ecosystem they created, that is a not sustainable business model. They need to get to somewhere a little bit more sustainable. They're still so much more premium than most of the other products out there. And people don't see the whole picture.
And I respect you a lot when I seen that.
Yeah, and like Valve doesn't even do that with the international. They'll front some money, but then they have the compendium where everyone else crowdsources it. Like, and then we're getting up to those record prize pools. So yeah, for Epic to go full on, here's one big purse for this one event just to capture the fact that they were the biggest game in gaming at that time, totally makes sense. And it was like one of the first events that they actually ran, if not the first event that Epic ran themselves, right?
Well, the one that we're referring to, like when you talk 30 million, that's the World Cup, right? So they already had gone through their series. They've done by that point a few big $1 million tournaments. Like I said, the Fortnite community was very spoiled. And it for a lot, this is their first ever esports. So they don't really even know the history of what is prize pools and how people really come out the mud from like, you know, a couple $1,000s is a lot before Epic came in and was like, no, we're throwing millions of dollars. So they set this weird bar and expectation.
But how do you be a leader in that, right? Like you said, you had to go against a current. And I feel like as a young boy like myself, that isn't easy just because you believe in this one thing. But when people are like saying no, it's like, yo, like, am I really in the wrong? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you go about that?
I mean, yeah, you know, sometimes you're going to say things and you're going to have to bite the bullet, right? Like I got a lot of people mad when I was like, I said something that was a little controversial and people came at me and I was like, all right, listen, in the heat of the moment, yeah, I might have said something. You took it out of context, right? Things can go 100 different ways. Unfortunately, when you have a big platform, let's say like myself, you say something and they kind of take that as that is the law. There is no, you know what I mean? Like people either go black and white with their responses. But when it comes down to speaking my mind and talking my truth, I'm always going to do that because that's part of the Monster brand, right? I jokingly say this all the time, like, yo, one day, one of y'all going to cancel me because you're not going to like what I have to say. And that's all right, because I got this far by doing what I want to do, how I want to do it. But that's the difference that separates me from XYZ is I'm not using his lingo because his lingo is cool today. I'm not using his look because his look looks fire. Like I'm using my look, my lingo, my sound, my style when it comes down to my casting and my content.
Like that whole subject, it brings upon a lot, especially in esports, because especially from our background, especially Black and Hispanic kids, we grow up a lot of times off of consoles. And then when you have the PC world, that's mostly Asian and whites a lot. And to bring up that topic is like, okay, we have the console gamers. We know a lot of console gamers is in a certain demographic because it's more accessible right now. And of course, Fortnite was made to be on different levels of computers, but still it's the accessibility of, okay, this demographic has a chance to get into esports because of consoles. And I think a lot of people don't understand that the PC is looking like some type of privilege. Like, it's just like, even the way they responded to you was on some type of privilege opportunity instead of looking at the overall community of Fortnite and what made Fortnite popular. Of course, you have PC, and then when it broke into other demographics as far as with console and even mobile, they did a whole mobile deal with Samsung. Like it opened the horizons to so many gamers that want to be like, yo, I want to take this serious. And that's something that I'm so happy that you brought up, because that's a big topic that's not being discussed a lot, is respecting the esport player that is going to come from the console base. We see that in fighting game community. A lot of us have came from the arcades and also on the consoles, and then we got to compete against other people too. So yeah, I'm just happy that you brought that up, because people who come from the walks of life of us, we know how it was to even start in this industry or to begin gaming.
Yeah, and I could jump a little bit more on that because I was also enlightened through this process, right? Like, everyone has a perception, right? Same way everyone has a perception of what is success, right? Everyone meters this a little bit differently. So does poverty, right? So does coming from a struggle. Let's just say a struggle here in the United States. You go to a real third world country. This is luxury. So when I speak, of course, I'm speaking from my own perspective. I'm speaking from someone who lives in the States, someone who was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, right? And the way we grew up. Our level, my perspective of poverty and where it came from, what was accessible to me. That's where where my drive was coming from, my passion when I was doing that. And I was coming at people's heads. Like, I didn't really care. And when I'm really fired up, I don't write back. I just make videos and I record that and I'll say what I got to say.
That's the way to do it.
And I'll keep, and I'll just keep banging videos out as responses, because like, why not? Controversy also, breeds impressions too. So I'm like, yeah, come on, let's do this. I'll do my once a month fight with the community. Like, let's get it. Right?
I do the same thing.
So
I gotta go your route though. I gotta start making videos. I gotta start making videos.
Take one from my book, right? Just start making videos, and they last longer, right? People gonna clip it, they gonna send it, whatever. Boom.
That makes sense. I gotta start doing that.
Yeah, look. See, I'm teaching. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta share the gems.
100%. That's funny you said that too. Yes, I did a stream where I let people ask me any business question. I answered it outright. So I was dropping gems all day last night on stream. But what I was gonna say though, the cool part about that whole thing, it wasn't all negative. There were people that were like, yo, damn, you know what, Monster? I never even think about it that way, you know, because I come from a different walk of life. We never experienced that kind of struggle or that perspective. And I appreciate you sharing that, because now, you know what? I do believe Consu maybe deserves some more prize pool. Maybe it shouldn't be structured like this, or, you know, whatever the case may be. I never said that. Of course, people put words in my mouth. They said, you know, they're gonna make stuff up. People have their own agenda and narrative all day long, but
their understandings and
they're gonna flip it back because
for the people that did listen, for the people that did listen, no, I convinced a lot too. That's the whole point of being an influencer. And that's why, to elaborate or extend on the conversation that, like you said, Don, you got to speak your mind sometimes, no matter how hard it is, because at the end of the day, when you're in a position like mine, someone's got to take the lead. Someone's got to use their platform to at least speak for good when they believe so. And that's where it comes from.
And it's great. And it's great because not only are you addressing an opinion that's out there, but you're not necessarily even addressing the person who held that opinion, who sent it to you. You're just sharing your opinion. You're not trying to expend all the energy trying to convince someone that they're wrong. You're just saying, this is my perspective. And so many more people are going to be able to latch onto that. But some people will even latch onto that confrontation. They'll associate that themselves, but that's for them to decide. And it's not you making attacking critique or anything like that. It's just, here's my opinion. It's clean content that drives a conversation.
Yep.
Sheesh. I have a real question though. This is the realest question on my axis. You know what I'm saying? On this recording.
Okay.
Because I think you've been making these type of tweets. What is your favorite anime, MonsterDface?
Oh, my favorite anime. Y'all, I got a crazy list, but you see the Bleach poster behind me? I do. Blurry because it doesn't.
Did you make that?
Nah.
Okay.
If I wanted to, I'm an artist. So Bleach. I love Bleach. That was one of my biggest animes. I'm a binge watcher though. I like long animes, so Naruto, Shippuden, Bleach,
gotcha.
Right? Anything that's gonna keep me to just watch a bunch of episodes. Good cliffhangers, right? I'm all about this. But yeah,
Aren't
I love
they extending
anime.
Bleach? Aren't they coming out?
Yeah, they are. They got that new one coming.
Bleach.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm really excited. But what I like most about Bleach is because a lot of the times when I look at animes and stuff, I come from it's more like an art. Like I like good art. I like crazy cool looking characters, and Bleach hits a fine line of like, damn, they look humanoid, but at the same time they got these like weird masks and all that. You know, the swords and the bankais, like that stuff intrigues me because I'm a graffiti artist, so like. Yeah, just being through all that kind of stuff. Like I'm all about the colors and the angles and all that kind of stuff.
100%. I have to ask that question to everybody that comes in here just because it's important.
I like it.
But where do you see the future of esports, bro? Like esports and gaming. I feel like you're an icon as far as, yes, you're in the Fortnite world, but I feel like if you wanted to, you can go in Valorant. If you wanted to, you can go in Call of Duty. Like, where do you see it going?
And I've had the opportunity to do so. I stay in Fortnite specifically for my brand. I really want to niche down and be the face, so that if it's a major, I'm there, right?
And I think they need that though. I think like what you represent, leadership, like just being you. I think the Fortnite scene needs that. Those are a different element of players to me.
Right. No, yeah, and the community is crazy, and we could talk about that later. But to answer your question, where do I see esports like in general?
Yeah, in general.
Right now, I told my cousin this yesterday because he has a knack for just conversation. And I said, bro, like esports is the wild, wild west right now. Like you don't need a degree to go to make it to where I'm at. Like really think about this. Years from now, you're going to need a XYZ, college resume or whatever, right?
It's not
like,
even
you really are
right now.
Yeah, like I'm
it's
like
a fetus. Like,
that's what I said. I said, bro, if you want to break into this, like all you gotta do is know how to talk the talk, and you have a level of style that you only get from coming from what I'm saying, our walks of life. Like, and I was like, you bring that. Don't bring that monotone radio hosty cast. Don't bring that fake stuff. Like, just come with your style, and trust me, bro, you're gonna find success. And I can teach you how to do that. Just be in that. But to that point is, I do think that esports is going to have a huge history or a long run in the space, I would say, because it's just a type of entertainment. And just think about what social media has done to the world, right? It's really revolutionized the world. It's changed everything. And I mean, I hate social media, to be honest. Like, I think it's really destructive for the overall humanity. It's like steps backwards. You really think about it. People care about likes and all the stuff that is so trivial. These numbers, right? These numbers bring gratification when they don't mean anything. But anyways, esports is gonna have a lifespan.
Have you watched the Netflix document, The Social Dilemma? Have you watched that?
I haven't, and like I don't even need to be influenced any further because like I have my opinion, and I just know, man. I can just see it,
I get that. 100%.
So I got a question, as a fellow New Yorker, and like, how has it been also, because here in New York, especially on the East Coast, we have our different scenes with different, genres of games, whatever. How have you seen it been for Fortnite as far as like the scene? Because of course we have a big fighting game scene here, but how has it been with Fortnite? And also like representation is always important to see us in that space. So how has it been?
I think Fortnite is unique because it appeals to the masses. Like it really does, all age ranges and all walks of life, right? And in New York specifically, when I was out there and like, I've been to like some of the LAN studios, like a lot of them are popularized because Fortnite. People want to walk in and play Fortnite. Like there's a spot called OS Studio.
That's down my people's.
Yeah. And I've done work with them, and I walked in there and I did their Nickelodeon event, and like I've done cool stuff. But like OS Studio has become like one of my favorite spots. You go there, you can have a drink, you can have fun, like whatever. But at the same time, they were always advertising their Fortnite events because like Fortnite is what all of a sudden got everyone so enthusiastic about gaming and about PCs, because Fortnite is very specific that like console, you don't get the full experience because you're held back. You need the power of a computer to really give you the rest of the frames to perform at your maximum level. So everyone chases that need, that itch to want to play your best and really test your skill to the limit. And Fortnite made a very, very big push on the conversion from going from console to wanting a PC. They've really broke that wall down. And they also broke the wall of just like Xbox being able to cross play with PlayStation. You know what I mean? They've moved the boulder so many different times in a lot of different directions for gaming as a whole. But I think one of them that's grossly underrated is their influence of having people to want to have a PC, because it's gone from you need the rest of the hardware to complete the equation. And I have a good friend of mine's Power GPU. He built a career, $1 million business off of building computers, but it was because of the explosion of Fortnite.
Yeah,
straight up.
Yeah, I peeped him too. There's a beast, and I love the videos he be doing. Like I think that's important as far as like a personal brand and doing what you do.
Yeah,
but I think that's a great statement as far as like, what do you? So Fortnite right now, right? You have Call of Duty. Call of Duty, I think, has won this year as far as with their getting their community to understand that they're a big game, but also influencing NBA stars to get their communities to understand that they're a big game. And so, like, where do you see Fortnite maybe adjusting in that and stuff like that? As far as, all right, now you have competitors.
So I look at it like this. Fortnite set this all in motion. They set this in motion. Mm-hmm. They created this genre of mainstream and gaming coming together, lifestyle, and you know what I mean? Like, it's the same way like music has done the same thing, right? Music has done these cross collaborations where like streetwear and music collide, and all of a sudden now that's like the thing, right? Now they're influencing culture and style and obviously language and lingo. But Fortnite kind of hip hop in general, right?
That's
but like
hip-hop, period.
Fortnite kind of brought that same style of attention to gaming and then to the world, because like now it's like these influencers, these megastars, and platforms like TikTok and stuff amplify this, but people are just getting famous, and then literally now they hold all the influence as much as like a rapper and a superstar do, right? So yeah, I think they started this trend, and because of that, of course, people are going to start seeding out, and other titles are going to begin to do that as well. Anyone with a mega influence, they are going to draw in people now, because now it's cool to play games. So, Call of Duty has been the coolest game for forever. It just wasn't cool enough to the place to where people wanted to ever saw it as an opportunity to make money or something like that.
It didn't tap into a lifestyle.
Yeah, now it's different though.
Yeah. And I felt to say that, like, I think Fortnite is one of those games. It's a trendsetter. Like, Call of Duty didn't do no battle royale. Okay, now they're doing the battle royale. Other games tested it out, and they're doing it their own different ways. And I think games like Fortnite, when you have that monster, it's going to make sure that you go at your hardest. Now you have to discover new ways to win the attention of others.
But it's also like you need people to succeed in this space so that, other people can succeed too. Like, for example, podcasting, has only become more and more popular because people like Joe Rogan finally broke that mesh and made it an international thing. Right now, what is it? It's the saying like a high tide raises all ships, right? So this is a high tide that Fortnite brought in. All the ships are coming up. Fortnite, Call of Duty, League of Legends, and everyone included. So you need the high tide to come in. You need people. Someone's got to ride that wave, right? And when the wave comes in, everybody's going to go with it. And that's the same way with my position in this space. If someone's like biting on something that I'm doing or, XYZ, I'm not mad at that. If anything, I'm just riding a wave. I'm raising the sea level. And when you guys do it and you jump in, we're bringing more attention to expand the longevity of this topic. So yeah, sure. Steal my title, steal this, do that. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you know what I mean? We're raising as a group. And that's just one way to look at it, right?
Man, okay, you coming on here spitting. I feel like everybody comes on here spitting, but MonsterDface, I've read many books and I've never heard that quote. So I might tweet that out and make it my little
okay.
See, you already biting already.
I mean, I think I dropped like 3 of them. I got these lines that they encapsulate what I'm trying to get across, like these little analogies or these metaphors. Because again, like just been doing it for a lot of years, and I love having these kind of conversations. So yeah, that's one that there's a few of them, and they'll keep coming out if you keep asking me questions. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, you got these great quotes and this great mentality behind it. But who helped get you there? Was your mom, your dad? Was it Gary Vee? Or was it some big athletes, rappers, hip hop stars? Who was it? Who kind of helped
so it was more of like a self-realization. I don't really take influence from other people necessarily because this is like another just thing where I don't want to be. I really, so like if something is a trend, I'm almost against it. Like I hate trending on trends. So that's what I said. Like if someone's using, and even in my casting, like for example, I'll just use this as a line. Casters in the Fortnite space say a saying like "box like a fish." This was popularized by a player, and now everyone wants to say, "Oh, he's boxed like a fish." But like, I don't want to say that line because I'm like, yo, that's so corny. Like, that's like, let him live, right? That's his line. Like, where's your line? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say something different. Like, I'm gonna say, oh, he just got drop kicked. You know what I mean? And I come with my own lines, and or like, so I come with my own stuff, my own style. It's the same thing when it comes down to like perspective sometimes, because of course you love to hear people that are gonna ignite you and light you up and get you going, but I don't like to be influenced because I like to come with my own like kind of raw take sometimes, and you could taint yourself by really listening too much, and if you lose yourself in the process, then so does your success, because a big part of I think being a successful influencer is being unique, and the only way you're going to be unique is if you are true to your own innovation, right? And I answer this with the word self-realization because, yeah, as a teenager, when I was younger and I was doing graffiti and stuff like that, I didn't realize that I had this skill to make people do. And I think that's one of my biggest assets is getting things in motion. So with that, as I grew in this space, I noticed that I was slowly but surely using my influence to get people to start moving the chips, right? So we could all keep doing stuff. And that's why I feel like I've been running a successful business and I run a successful kind of team within the competitive space and all that kind of stuff, because I get people to go in motion. Some people need direction, and I'm a good person of to put people in a sense of direction.
Who are some Fortnite players that you think don't get enough, like they're underrated? Like these are those dogs, like they're, you know what I'm saying, like dogs. Like who are those players?
So I don't think there's really. It's interesting, right? Because the Fortnite space is very unique. Like I said, if you work hard, you get recognition in Fortnite. Like that's just the truth of it. And if you're skilled, like that's it. The clout comes. But I have some favorite players. I can answer that way. Like some of my favorite players are up and comings, like Who Fishy. I think he's a great up and comer player. There's a player called Crunchy. He's disgusting with it. Not long ago, I found out about this kid named Reet on NA West. He's nasty. His skill. And how quick he's able to do what he does on controllers, just it looks impossible, right? So like there's some impressive players out there, and then there's some older players that I love too, because they may not be mechanically flashy, but they keep up with these young kids just by knowledge and smart. So I'm a big fan of a lot of different players, man. Nanolite, if we're gonna give shout outs about smart players, so y'all get y'all little shout out.
Bro, I love it. But anyway, I know. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna tap in, especially with representation. There's like a lack of representation in the Fortnite realm as far as like who you see as the face. You know what I'm saying? As far as Black and Hispanic, of course, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. We got Latin X and gaming where you need those online. So as far as like seeing more in the space, and especially as you being a face in the space, what do you want to see next? You know, especially from our walk of life.
So to answer your question, I think in Fortnite specifically, there's actually a lot of representation of all walks of life, right? You have people like myself, Hispanic. You have people like Bala, who's Somalian. You have Zika Miss Prime, who's Argentinian, and I think he's Mexican. And you have, you know what I mean, Shayo Wager, who comes from Middle Eastern descent, right? So like Fortnite specifically has done so much of making a change, making a difference, and who they bring on. You know, I never feel like with Fortnite, my skin color has ever held me back. Whereas in a lot of other, fields or, environments, maybe like conversations or the way sometimes public perception can perceive me. Your color, where you come from, your story is a big turnoff, or it could be something that's going to work against you. But, we've been raised with that.
The digital world is stopping
that problem, right? Yeah. No, and it's changing.
Yeah,
it's
changing the narrative. Yeah. Just as far as changing the narrative, even if that misconception is there, like just having your own like collective and changing the narrative in that. I think that's like the beauty of esports, is because if we do see that, then it's like, okay, we're gonna make this team, we're gonna get this player over here, this celebrity, especially since COVID. We've seen a lot because of everybody wanted to do a tournament and everybody wanted to elect some type of celebrity. I see like with Mario Aces with Nintendo, I was like, I've never seen this much color on. So like, and they had a bunch of tennis stars from Serena, and it was just great because it became like a reset in the industry as well too. It's just that there's just more topics and conversations that's needed to make sure that after this, that it still rides out and we do get to see different people and different perspectives from all walks of life.
Yeah, and that's what's like really interesting about the esports space and gaming in general. It's kind of like the sports space, if you think about it, when it comes down to talent, right? Who steps up? It don't matter like what color you are. If you're skilled, I'm sorry to say it, you're gonna have that camera on you, and you know what I mean? You're gonna have your opportunity. So white, black, Asian, Spanish, it don't really matter. That's one thing that's really, really great about the esports space, at least as of right now, is that anybody who's got the skill is the one that is going to get the limelight shown on them.
100%. I had a question, I forgot, and I'm kind of mad now. I have bad memory, but I just to hit on that. Yes, like I think the esports and gaming scene, the digital world, is like if you're the best, if you can grab attention, and even though people are gonna hate on you. It doesn't matter. No one cares unless you let it care. Yeah,
like
unless
it depends,
you let it care.
Because like I always go, because I'm more attached to like the fighting game. Like we've had some sisters in there. They're great, but they don't get that love. They don't get that attention. You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on the state of the scene and what people are actually standing up for when they see things that's wrong. Also to make sure that, it's their skill. Doesn't matter how they look, their gender, whatever. Just pay attention to the skill and also rise up the ones that's upcoming to make sure they get represented as well. Because that's something that's underlined in this industry. Like we have the beauty of it to showcase, but to make sure that it's being consistent. Like to make sure that, okay, we see more Black women in esports. We see more Hispanic women in esports because it gets crowded over, especially even the Asian sector, because we'll see a whole Asian team, you know what I'm saying, in certain esports instead of seeing a different collective, even if it's like, for example, a New York team, just to see, okay, who can I relate to? They from New York. Well, I don't see any, something. So it really depends on the scene.
Yeah, and I mean, that's crazy too, because like demographic is also drawn to certain kinds of titles, right? If I'm not mistaken, like the Koreans run like Overwatch and like, you know what I mean? So like every demographic is also just drawn to different kinds of titles. Like, for example, the Mexican community is huge on Gears of War And like Gears of War is not big as the esports are almost anywhere else, but like in the Mexican, in the Hispanic community. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like certain titles, and that's like, you know, that's like blood, that's like gore, and what, but like that's stuff people just gravitate to. And just talking about King of Fighters, you have, you know, like certain kind of characters that look a certain way. Like it's gonna resonate differently, I think, across all titles. Like it's always gonna be different. And you know, that's something that I don't know, like I don't think you could change, right? That's just like it's cultural, right? It's cultural. It's gonna resonate just culturally, and you can't do nothing about that.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
do you feel like FIFA? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like when you're calling out Gears of War and being popular in Mexico, like it's the same thing where you look at all of like Europe. They're crazy about Counter-Strike, but even then, even though that whole region is about Counter-Strike, when Dignitas's women's team goes and plays, like they're stomping them like the Seattle Storm does in the WNBA, but you don't see the same amount of highlighting for women, even though they are white women. Like, and that's just how women are treated in esports in general as competitors. And so like it's that regionality is really interesting to me. But as part of why Fortnite was so popular when it launched with women and men of color as your randomized base character.
Exactly.
That was a huge win for them too.
Like look at Apex right now. Like it attracted so many Black women to play because they seen themselves in the game. And then you're gonna have to start to highlight at that point. So it's a responsibility on like all factors as well. And then whoever is getting that shine to make sure that they go and be like, you know what, I want to see what this sector is lacking and try to build that up too.
Yeah, and what you're going to see is like accountability for diversity and inclusivity is going to be a huge marker for a lot of games going forward. One, because the business side, they saw what it did to Fortnite, but then as companies like Microsoft and Sony and Epic and Activision Blizzard really start getting into the analytics of who's playing their games and why they're playing their games and what motivates them, when they start seeing that uptick of people who start saying, I'm playing this game because I can see myself in this. I can see a figure who represents me in this. That's going to be a huge driving factor. I mean, we saw it in one of the movie trailers that recently came out. It was not a movie trailer, the Morales trailer for Spider-Man, where there was I believe it was the Dominican Republic flag in the trailer. And like that got a lot of Puerto Rican, sorry.
Yeah.
But it was I'm not familiar with comics. I'm sorry. But like the fact that got a lot of mentions and nods, and like people who make content were making notes about that. And so that's driving a small decision to be inclusive from the beginning, just went to every influencer out there who's paying attention to that game. And it's Spider-Man and it's Morales, and you're going to get it. Everyone is already on that train supporting that character.
Can't wait
exactly like that.
That's why I put the Puerto Rican flag in my Twitter bio. You know what I'm saying? So whenever anybody clicks, they know like, oh, this guy's Spanish, this guy Hispanic. Okay,
they know what's up. You know what I'm saying? But I finally remember my question, and it's kind of off track from what we were just talking about. But as someone who was trying to go, not even really go pro, but I'm trying to just be a pioneer in my own path for people who want to do what I'm doing and whatever. You know, shout out to Apaza and to the Emotionals and what they're doing as far as editors and stuff like that. I feel like there's a lot of, you know, people who play games, but they want to become professional gamers just because they think that's the only money sprout coming from the scene, where it's like, yo, you can be an editor, you can be a host and stuff like that. And I just wanted to know your thought input on like the business model for just somebody who wants to get in the scene and make money from it, basically, and do it for a living.
So are you asking me to help people find a way to make money in this space, or are you asking me what are my thoughts on building in those different areas?
Thoughts on building in those different areas, yeah.
Oh, so yeah, my thoughts on building those different areas. That's what I do specifically, right? Like if you just, you know, it's you know, look at what I'm doing kind of deal. I know you guys are big on Gary Vee. That's one of his lines, right? Where it's like, don't follow what he says, but kind of what kind of action he's hitting on. And it's the same thing for me personally, right? I'm a content creator. I have a podcast too. I have a YouTube channel that's successful as well. And then of course I represent on a esports level, right? On a professional stage on behalf of people. Then I just launched my production business. But I know how to edit, like, you know what I'm saying? And I know how to do. So I think, yeah, it's very important to hit every aspect and every avenue. But more importantly, what I'm doing differently is I don't care about the MonsterDface brand if I'm being completely honest, because that's just something that's there. I don't even look at that as a job. It's a hobby, going live and talking and just having fun. I'm killing time, honestly, and doing something positive in the process. What I care more about is the brands that I'm building, my production, my, you know what I'm saying, my relationships, my next endeavors that I'm already hunting down. I love that you mentioned emotional and stuff like that, because yeah, I'm throwing my blanket on everything when it comes down to full 360 services. I mean everything, including those avenues of how do you become the center for producing quality content for people that are just lazy to not go learn how to do it themselves, because ultimately that's what it is. It's not that people don't have enough time in the day to do it. It's just, you know, either you're not interested or you're lazy. Yeah, you don't want to put in that work. So I'm making it easy. I'm streamlining everything for you, and I'm doing it one step at a time. And it's helpful that I have a lot of trust and people look to me as a pioneer in the space, or look to me as a leader in what I do, because yeah, I put a lot of energy into my projects, you know, to make sure that they go the way that I want them to.
100%. Like, bro, your Twitter clips look better than my fucking camera right now. You feel me? It's on Twitter, and I'm like, yo, my man has like some of the best camera equipment or whatever.
I love that you say that, because I'm gonna go and buy like a 1994. Like, I'm gonna change the game. Watch, I'm coming back with like retro look. Yeah, 100%. I'm dropping HD. I'm coming back with it. It's gonna have the. I'm 100% serious. Like, you don't see the lines and all that. Like, I'm coming back with the raw look, because I show people, and even in my stream overlay, I say this. It's like, yo, look at my overlay. My overlay is a white box. You know, one of my overlays, I said, yo, I made this for free, and this is $1 million overlay right here. You know why? Because it's clean, and I'm looking clean on it. I said, it's simplified. Like, you don't need a lot of money. You don't need to pay somebody thousands of dollars to have some crazy alerts. Sometimes less is more, and I'm all about less is more. If you look at my show, you look at what I do, I'm simplistic. I'm very, very clean. Like, I'd rather be on just a flat black background. That's it. And that's me.
And I think that's important. And I really think that's important. I kind of just want to bring that up is because people think, you know, I don't have the best camera, I can't do. Like, what do you mean? You can still do. You're just not going to have, at this moment, you're not going to have the best camera.
Well, here's the thing. There's beauty in capturing that raw side of it.
Exactly.
There's a lot of,
see the journey.
There's so much relatability. And I could point out 2 mega influencers in this space that use trash headset mics. Nick Merckx and Ronaldo from Team NRG, who plays Fortnite. Nick Merckx, his signature sound is that trash mic that he's got, because it's funny. It's just, there's a level of there's a level of quality in just being that entertainment factor. Same thing with Ron. That bad mic is his signature. It's the sign that, oh, this is a gamer stream. Like, he got the headset mic on. He sounds like a gamer, right? So like that level of relatability, like, yeah, like there's times where I go back and you know, I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, yo, man, sometimes I need to just run like a trash version stream where it's just gonna be bad camera, bad mic. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it, and that's just gonna be a theme. But like I said, that's just me, you know, doing different and doing what I want to do.
I used to name my streams the struggle stream, because I didn't have, like, people expected me to have like all this stuff. I was like, I don't have it. Like, I'm building it, but
and you don't need it though.
Y'all love hearing me and y'all love seeing me. So this is what you gonna get right now until I get. But I called it the struggle stream. Everybody was laughing, but they was rocking with it. But you know, have fun with your humble beginnings in anything. You know, you might be far in one avenue, but not so far in the next one. And it's humbling, you know, it's cool. I mean, you know, people try to compare themselves to other people because we live in that age, you know, social media. But it's cool to see somebody that's relatable to you, you know, because you're like, I can get there one day.
And just to talk on that, people shouldn't compare your journey to somebody else's, because at the end of the day, you know, some people are going to sprint to their destination and you're going to have to walk, right? But at the end of the day, you're both going to the same milestones. You'll get there eventually, right? No matter how fast or how slow you're moving, as long as you continue to progress and understand that you're gonna get there eventually. Like, it might take you 10 years, it might take you 1 year, it might take this guy, you know, 2 weeks, but you know, if you keep working at it, you'll get there eventually. The thing about like content creator and influencing and stuff like that, you're gonna naturally draw people in that can relate to you. And there's so many people in the world. Eventually, with enough fans, you will, you know, one by one, you'll get there. That's what I've kind of noticed. I don't really try to appeal to everybody. I'm not in the people pleasing business. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just do me, and
Facts.
people that vibe with me and follow me, and we go, like, we go.
That's a fact.
I got a question. How, with everything, because when you're a one man army, one woman army, whatever, it takes a lot to kind of put in line and schedule, because we're all at home. We're all used to either going outside or doing something. And even if you are a homebody, you might get too comfortable. So how do you make sure that you're not too comfortable and you're able to achieve everything from making sure social media is taken care of, content is being taken care of, your production projects and everything? How do you like schedule and organize everything? Because the sister over here needs help.
Yeah.
Okay?
I just made a tweet. Don, did you see the tweet that I put out where someone was like, yo, why you live for 3 days and then you disappear for 3 days?
Oh, yeah,
sometimes.
And I went off because I'm like, like, are you out of your mind? Like, yo, I'm never away. Like, I'm always doing something. To answer your question, yeah, definitely. Calendar helps. Scheduling. I'm very, you know, strict with my regime, right? It's a lifestyle. This is the thing, though. This is the difference. Like, honestly, it is a lifestyle. Like, I wake up, if I'm not actually doing something productive, if anything, I get more anxiety from not being in motion and not being on a project, or, you know what I mean? When stuff starts slowing down, if anything, that gives me more anxiety, because now I'm thinking like, all right, what's happening here? Are we slowing down? Where's the business? Or why is the business not coming in as fast? Or, you know what I mean? If anything, that's going to stress me out more. Having projects, having stuff to do and whatnot, that's not a problem for me. But like I said, and it's not even that I'm a one-man army, because in a lot of ways I'm doing all this at once. But I thrive under these stressful situations, and I thrive under this pressure, right? Because this is where I feel most comfortable, is being on the hustle, having projects, hitting deadlines, delivering, you know what I mean? Quality after quality after quality. I want to keep doing that. I have fun doing that. But I also have a team of people, right? Like I said, I am very, very good at getting XYZ to work on XYZ thing, and then getting him to do this, and then getting them to hit their deadlines. That's knocked out. Overlays looking great. I approve that. Next tweet. Let me see what that looks like. That's great. Launch that. Right? Like, that's me. I'm putting stuff in motion. So
what time do you wake up?
When I feel like it. No, seriously, when I feel like it.
There's a lot of people like now. There's a lot of people that want to start doing things that they didn't get a chance to do, but now they have the time to do it. So right now, my routine, I got an alarm for 8 a.m. and 8:30. That's stock market, pre-market when it opens, 8:30 when it launches. I'm making money right there. It's off the bat with my cup of coffee. I'm flipping stocks. Boom, 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 boom. Get that going. All right. That's my mental wake up. I brain stimulating. Yeah, because I seen you cop the Corsair.
Yeah,
you know, stocks. Looking at that.
Tell me that's not a good idea. Like,
that's a great idea. As soon as they went public, I was like,
that's what I'm saying, right? And just I'm just gonna use this as a small, just like investment tip, guys. This is they're just starting. They own Elgato. They own Scuff Gaming. They own everything. They are Corsair. Like, their trajectory. Scuff Gaming is the controller's dream right now. Everybody's dream.
They're on the way, Elgato, like how Logitech is.
Lights, camera, mic. Come on, bro. They are doing this. They are in the lead right now. They are the Apple of the generation for smartphones. Like, they're in the lead, right? So I think it's smart. So I'm gonna throw my money in, throw a couple bands in there. You know, I'm messing around with that. And I don't play with nothing that I'm afraid to lose. So, you know, it is what it is. And that's why, again, I'm all about keeping my stressors low. So if something's gonna stress me out, I love being in a position where I don't need your money. I don't need your project. I don't need your, you know what I'm saying? I tell people no all the time. Or I say, yo, you know what? In order to do that, I'm going to charge you this much. And I'm also not afraid to really throw big numbers at people all day long. Like, straight up, I have people trying to break into my ecosystem of like the reach that we have and stuff. I'll say, yo, listen, now I'm going to be 100% with you. You want that space? That's going to cost you like 50,000. If you don't see the value there later, like, sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's okay. Either you're going to take it or you're going to leave it. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. But yeah, I wake up at 8. I want to be up by 8 for sure. I have an 11-year-old, and I just adopted in my little sister for the school year. So yeah, I bought a home out here. So I'm trying to help my family by obviously doing my part, and part of that is giving my sister a new environment, a much better environment here in Texas. And yeah, we live in a nice little suburban area and stuff like that. So I know she's loving school here now, and it's very different, right? And these are opportunities I didn't get to have growing up, so I'm giving them where I can, right? But yeah, I'm up at 8, and that's how. If I'm not up by 8, my alarm's going off definitely by 8. But I'm usually up earlier. I have this problem, like if I wake up, I'm up because now I got to check Discord, Twitter, yada yada, because business is always. So if my dog wakes me up at 4 a.m., I'm really staying up from like probably from there onwards. Like then I'll crash in between, catch a quick nap, and go.
Yeah.
Monster, it's so much unique things about you, bro. Like literally, we passed over like 50 minutes, and I try to keep it 45 to 50 minutes. But it's like you're, and like you said, you're in everything.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I think we're just excited just to hear like these certain things, because I think
we can drop this in 2 episodes. I don't mind. I put a little bit of time right here. Actually, I got rehearsal at 3:30. I think I'm lying. Yeah, I kind of am lying. It's 3:12, so we got 15.
I forgot, bro. I never should have said that, because now I forgot what I was going to say. But the initial question is, okay, Epic Games not Epic Games, but Epic Games and Riot. I say this a lot just because where I see it, and I want to know your perspective. I see, Tencent owns both, but I think Epic Games, where they really control, is like gaming, and I think Riot Games, they're more dominant. Like they both do the same thing, vice versa. But Riot Games is more dominant in esports. Like even though it's a game on the back end, I think Epic Games is gaming, but they still do esports. But their majority, like they dominate gaming. Like, what are your thoughts on like that?
Well, you got to give credit where credit's due. Riot Games been doing this for 10, 15 years, right? Sure. They are the pioneers in the space. They're gonna continue to hold the throne, right? It's gonna take a while for anyone to overthrow that. That's like discrediting World of Warcraft because some new MMO came out. Yeah. You can't shoot down World of Warcraft until you've been doing it for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you get what I mean? So the same thing goes for Epic. Epic's been around, and now they're stepping up to where they're mainstream, right? But it's about what they do with this for the next couple of years that's really going to solidify themselves in the space as a titan. And they're getting there. I mean, they have the resources. Obviously, now they have the money and funds to do so. And they are doing stuff because, this all goes back to all the monumental things they've done, all the hurdles they've crossed, from cross-platform to, accessibility, to now taking on Apple on a large stage to, bring in rights for people across, all devices and markets, right? They're taking on hurdles and challenges and big entities in the space that no one else can or are afraid to do. And I love them for that.
You think they're gonna win that against Apple?
I don't even know if they're gonna win or lose, but all that matters is look at all the historical cases. People are gonna lose all the time in the battles, right? But the war ultimately will, you know what I mean? All these it's not for nothing.
The message is still sent, whether they felt
it's a big message, a huge message. Yeah. If they don't win this time, when the next big one comes around, they're gonna have so much more arsenal because of what Epic did. So and you have people like, I believe, Microsoft and stuff standing with Epic and putting out their little, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that believe in this. And as that continues to gain momentum or, go down the stretch of time, I think ultimately this is all for the better good of the industry.
I agree. I need some, if you give advice in 5, I'm gonna ask all my questions. Look, you say you got 30 minutes. I'm gonna use at least 10.
No. Let's go.
Listen, these are Twitter clips and Instagram clips and maybe even
all day.
TikTok clips. You feel me?
All day. Let's go.
Like if I had to invest in 3 esports and gaming or just brands in that field, where would they be?
Right now, today, 100 Thieves, NRG, and the practice server.
Ooh.
100%. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, because I know what I'm doing. I
feel like you do, bro.
Like really think about it. Like I'm doing this all because I'm not afraid to lose. Because there is no losing. I already won. I hit success a long time ago. What are you gonna tell me now? You know what I'm saying? Everything else is fun. These are just fun projects.
I'm gonna cry.
Think about that. Sit on that one, right? And that's a strong message right there. Because once you define success for yourself, there's nobody that can take that away from you, right?
Nope.
And I hit that a long time ago.
This statement's gonna be so out of nowhere. You're a Virgo.
No, I'm an Aquarius. February.
Why do you think you say that with everyone when they talk about like staying on track and making sure things is done? You always Like, Red, you a Virgo? No. No.
I don't know. I'm just about to cry, bro. It's just like experiment, you know, like one of my goals. And
come on, Don, you want to come work for the kid? Let's go get some stuff done.
Yo, bro, I'm down for whatever.
But that's like I said, that's my skill set, right? My skill set is like, yo, let's get this done. Here's how we're gonna get it done because I think this is gonna work. Like, let's go for it. And I'm the guy that's gonna jump first. Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna follow me or not? And that's what a lot of people need. A lot of people need direction. They need a rule set. They need a rule book. And I don't. I'm not a person that needs you to walk me through it. I'm going to walk myself through it. You know what I mean? I don't need anybody to hold my hand. Maybe that comes because I'm the oldest son of my mom and dad, right? So maybe there is a sense of responsibility that naturally I picked up along the years, just having to be the leader. But yeah, so I am a real leader in my space, and I try to do that now. And I'm becoming more and more bold in my claims and my fields. And it's been working.
Claim it. You supposed to.
Listen, a lot of people hate Conor McGregor for his fucking statements. But I love Conor McGregor. Say
it. You know, like sometimes, bro, you just gotta say it because
Mayweather was on that before him. So I'm the best, no matter what.
You know, and I'm not even. I don't even do that, right? I don't even claim to be none of that. All I'm just saying is like, I don't care about what you think. Like, that's it. I'm gonna do me, and I know I'm gonna do me well because it's what I want to do. You're gonna like the product, or you're not gonna like the product. That is the bottom line. And when you get to that realization point, like I said, people are gonna gravitate to you, or they're not, and that's okay.
It's a fact. That's true. People think I'm a lot of somebody asked me that they was like, "Yo, why you just want to do this?" I'm like, "Yo, you would never, ever see me like kiss up. That's just not in my blood. That's just not in DNA. If he's not gonna, help me get it, I'm gonna get it, and he's gonna be mad when I get it."
Yeah. That's why I tell people like, yo, I don't really work with energy drinks, but if the bag is right, I'm sorry if I got to sell out one time, but you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that, like you just have fun with it. And you believe in what you believe in.
100%. And shout out Tfue and all the other cats working. I'm only shouting him out. I'm saying, cause like, I feel like a lot of those energy drinks, I'm like, at least to me, come on, bro. You guys are on a computer, like, you gotta drink some water. Work out, do that in the third. You become
I drink decaf. I drink decaf. Coffee's a big part of my brand, but I do drink decaf nowadays. So I'm on natural energy, and it feels good to be on natural energy.
100%. If you could collab with a coffee brand, who would it be?
Caribbean Delight. That's what I drink every day. I've been trying, but their Twitter's like dead. So I'm maybe, I'm gonna wait until I got a proper proposal for them, and then I'm gonna be like, all right, listen, this is what we're gonna do.
Bet. So, I feel that. But I don't want to prolong it too long. It's been an hour and it's coming up to like 20-30 seconds.
Yes, sir.
But Monster, I appreciate you, bro. So much love. As a young boy myself, RedinFamy and Warlock, they make fun of me, bro. I'm 19, but that don't mean
listen, I only make fun of you.
Yes, you make fun of. Listen, it don't matter if I'm 19. There's 13-year-olds who's getting they're making what I'm making in a month, probably in a week. And so like, hearing what you're saying, how you say it, and just, it's just inspiring. And I think it's going to inspire everybody else.
Think about this, Don. I didn't start esports until I was 21. I didn't have nearly as many resources, and the space wasn't even developed. I'm 27 now, right? Or like, honestly, I was like 19, 20 when I was really getting into it. I'm only 27 now, and I'm, you know what I mean? I'm where I'm at. Yeah. A lot of people that you look up to, people forget, like, there's old people and young people that are just finding success. Dr. Lupo's an older gentleman who does stuff, but like his success didn't come till recently. Now he's a millionaire, right? But you feel me? So if you're young and you're already here, you're fine, bro.
You on the right track.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah.
That's for everybody.
Much love to you, bro. RedinFamy, I don't know if you guys had any questions or comments you wanted to add.
Nah, bro, I don't want to take any more of this man's time. He got things to do.
100%.
So I thank you so much for joining us.
He dropped enough.
100%.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I guess is this where I do my little sign off?
Yeah, I was just about to say, drop us a gem. You've been dropping gems all this time.
I'm gonna leave y'all with the define success for yourself gem. I think that was a powerful one, and that's one that I live by. So that's 100% right there. But yo, guys, you guys can find me at MonsterDface, all social medias, MonsterDface.com. Just go to the website. You'll see my schedule. I post it up. Everything, merch, whatever you need, art portfolio, all that good stuff. You get a little taste of what we got to offer.